Hey, there we are. Looks like we're live on YouTube, live on Facebook. Um, Here's some funny news. Let me fix this. Hang on. So when I was getting ready for the show, I came in here, get everything fired up. About an hour ago, I came in and plugged in the iPad to make sure that was fully charged, so we would be good to go there. And I didn't plug in the other end. So the iPad is dead. So we're live on Facebook. Roxanne's here. Elise is here. So what that meant is I had to make a decision to use my dead devices. So here, I don't know if let's see if this one has. This one has a little bit of battery left. Anyway, so long story short, no Instagram tonight. So we're live on Facebook, live on YouTube only. But that's okay. We'll get the show in. Jeff is here. Karen's here. Audrey's here. Good evening to all of you. Roxanne from Illinois is here as well. Colette checking in from Long Island. Karen is from Long Island as well. Very fun. Sarasota, Florida. Joyce is checking in. Margie's in the house. Good evening to you. Joan from Ontario. We've now officially gone international. I think Roxanne was the first to make it international. Actually, no, Roxanne was the first, so therefore we started in Canada, and then someone from the United States came in and made it international. So very, very, very cool. And we are now in 3 countries because Keith is checking in from Mexico. So we're now broadcasting live in Canada, live in the US, live in Mexico. Man, how fun. 3 countries all in one boot. I love it. Very, very fun. So let me see. I missed a couple. Looks like I missed Heather, missed good evening to you. Wendy is from Missouri, good evening. Debbie from Rockville, Illinois. So now I'm on my tiny little phone. So this could prove to be challenging because my iPad's like this big, my phone's like this big. So I only get 1 or 2 comments. So we're battling some technical difficulties for sure, but we're here. Worst case scenario, we'll get the show recorded and you'll be able to listen to it in the morning, but I want you to be able to watch it too. That's what makes it fun. So Cheryl from Virginia, good evening to you. Donna says hello to everyone from Kentucky. Tammy checking in from Michigan. Arkansas, Megan's checking in. Diane, good evening to you. Utah, Shauna's checking in. Colorado, Judy's checking in over on YouTube. Southern California, Kathy's here. Coletta from Rockford, Illinois, good evening to you. Pamela from Iowa. Man, all the regulars are checking in. I love it. I love it. Linda checking in from Tampa, Florida. So I need to give a quick little shout out for Linda. Linda is amazing. Let's just start there. So when I said I'm going to do an international tour, you know, I originally started picking cities that I already had some business in. I already had reasons to go to these places, so therefore it was cost effective for me to, you know, because someone else was going to pay for the travel. I was already going to be there, so it didn't really impact my calendar, and so that was how many of the cities on the international tour were picked. I get asked all the time, how come you're not coming here? How come you're not coming here? And quite frankly, because I have no plans to go there, and so I just try to make this work. Anyway, that's the long story. So when work said I had to go to Biloxi, I was like, perfect. While I'm there, I'll do a run. We'll kick off this international tour thing. Linda wrote into me, and she lives in Tampa. If you look at a map, Tampa, Florida, and Biloxi aren't exactly close. They're about 7.5 hours apart driving. So Linda reached out to me and said, hey, I want to come out and meet you. I want to come out and run, walk the race with you. But I want to make sure you're going to be there before I hop and make, 2 nights hotel, 7.5 hour drive one way. And so we had that planned. And then all of a sudden my work trip was canceled. So I had no reason to go to Biloxi other than the fact that I said I was going to Biloxi. So I didn't want to change that. Anyway, so Linda drove the 7.5 hours. She met us there. She walked in her very first 5K since like the 80s or something crazy. And so we absolutely crushed it. I think we have a personal record for Linda's time. She did absolutely fantastic, and I'm incredibly proud of her. She looks great. She's a hoot to hang out with. So, Linda, thank you, thank you, thank you. Tammy, saw you popping in on YouTube. Sorry about the Instagram snafu. I plugged in my iPad, and the iPad was plugged in for the last hour or so. However, I only plugged in one end. I plugged one end into the iPad. The other end goes under my desk. Was not plugged in. So therefore, I had to cut out one of the devices tonight, and that was Instagram. That loses out tonight, unfortunately. So good news is we're not bound by a time limit. We can stay up here for like 7 hours tonight and do the show. So anyway, Penny, good evening to you. Karen says she met up with Colette last Saturday with Spinwich. Very cool. Yeah, Marianne. I have not met Marianne yet. That sounds like it would be a hoot for sure. So I have not met her. I've seen her on Connect all the time, of course. Lifetime member for like, I don't know, what's these, like 20 some years at Lifetime or something crazy. She's killing it. Renee from Lake Elsinore, good evening. Diane from Maryland, good evening to you. Colette, yeah, I saw that. You and Karen met. I saw the photos. Awesome. Glenda checking in from Salt Lake City. Keith, like I said, Keith checking in from Mexico. Very fun. Lee's checking in from Arkansas. Colorado Springs. Rebecca's here. Tammy, now you're back over on Facebook. So Tammy was on YouTube. Now she's on Facebook, or vice versa. I can't keep up with you guys. Kelly, good evening. Yeah, now she's asking about Instagram. So I'm a little behind on comments. Aubrey, Texas. Glenda checks in over on YouTube. Good evening to you. And Tammy is on YouTube. Got it. I just can't keep track of who's where. Rosie's checking in from Hollister, California over on YouTube. Very nice. You know, maybe if this goes well, maybe we'll just ditch Instagram. I don't know. We'll see. Anaheim, California. Michelle checks in. Let's see. Jody from Westport, Mass. Got your shirt in the mail today. Woohoo! Psyched you can be at all the races in spirit. I love it. That's exactly it. And so at one point, I'm going to try and do a December virtual race together. So we'll figure it out. We'll do something. But Jody, thank you for that support for sure. And that's how I fund the trip, right? So, you know, like I said, the trip to Biloxi was supposed to be work travel, but when work canceled, I still had to go anyways. But the tour shirt, you know, the proceeds from that is what helps cover the cost of the travel between rental car, hotel, and flight. So all of that support helps. So certainly, Jody, thank you for that. Christine, hello from Massachusetts. Let's see, Wendy from Texas. I got you now. Santa Rosa, California. Christine's here. Carrie says, finally figured out the chat. Yay! Carrie's here. Carrie, there was a couple of you that I was really, really worried about when I knew I wasn't going to do Instagram. You know, and so not to name all the names, because as soon as you do, you forget somebody. But Carrie and Tammy were two that I'm like, man, if I don't do Instagram, Fran's another. So if I don't do Instagram, my phone is going to blow up all night. So I'm glad to see both of you are over here, at least. Whew. Keeps me out of a little bit of trouble. Carrie, I know you do. I'm just making sure, but I was thinking of you, right? I didn't want to miss that. So, all right, let's see. Christine's here. Got you watching from the phone. Lisa from Phoenix watching in Tucson. Lisa, good evening to you. Good chatting with you earlier today. Always fun. You always brighten my day. Let's see. Brenda, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Good evening. Let's see. Pam in Colorado Springs. Lee is here. Lee, did you figure out what's going on Twitter? So Lee put in the Wise Wingman group earlier that he couldn't find the tweet. So when I add the show to the calendar, whenever that is, so if I add a show for 4 years from now in the calendar and I add it tonight, you will get a tweet tonight saying I added it to the calendar 4 months from now, 4 years from now. 15 minutes before the start time, you will get an auto tweet saying that event starts in 15 minutes. So you can always go to fatdag.com, check on the calendar, but 15 minutes before the event is when the auto tweet gets sent out. Very fun. Delia, that's how you pronounce that. Another Texan. Very fun. Let's see. Wendy, can't wait to meet you in Tulsa. Yeah, I can't wait either. I need to get the details out for that race. I'm staying in Catoosa. That's where I'm staying at the Hard Rock. Actually, I'm staying at the Hard Rock for that weekend. So just to give you a heads up, and then the race I think is going to be the one I picked out on the north side of Tulsa, but I haven't registered for it yet. So that's on my list to do. And as soon as I register for it, then I will get you. Tammy, did I say, I was thinking I did that. On YouTube says 184. Facebook is right. This is 194. I'll edit it after the show. Tammy's asked me if I mislabeled the show number, which I did. Debbie, we are going to smash it in Indy. It's going to be so much fun. Yep, very fun. Dina, good evening to you. Glad you made it over here as well. Your 27-year-old son joined Weight Watcher Online. Very, very cool. Kansas is checking in with Julie. Kathleen from Maryland. Woo! Yeah, you're here till the dryer stops. I get it. Pam from Valparaiso. So folks, Pam is on the show tonight. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but Pam is here joining us, so that's very fun. Yeah, Debbie says good job to all the Biloxi 5Kers. It was fun. Yep, it was a hoot. I loved it. Lori's back in Warner Robins. Good evening. Annette from Chicago. Judy says, good evening, long time no see. Glad to be back into a routine. Very nice. Welcome back. Danielle from Chicago. Let's see. Yeah, Jennifer says, on Long Island, I get to hear, yes, you can, even a few times a year. I like it. Cindy from Texas. Diane from New York is here. Danielle will be in Indy. Very nice. Janice from Bloomington. Let's see. Kim got her shirt too. Very cool. And it's funny. We mail out. We have a little bit of routine. We come home. I check the box, and about every day we send out 3 or 4 of them. We send out. Let's see. They're sitting over there. There's 1, 2. Have you guys have seen do you guys like the bags they come in? I think that's pretty cool. I think there's 4 or 5 of them sitting over there getting ready to go out. Wake Forest. Lisa's here. Huh. Donna says Bub's Burgers must be good for Mike to wear their shirt. So here's what's funny about Bub's. This is my leader, Terry, got me this shirt, and she left it in the meeting room, and it was in my car forever. And so tonight I was in my uniform up until about 6 minutes ago, and I was like, I need to put a different shirt on. And I threw this one on. Yeah, Bub's Burgers is very good. I track it as 14 points. I've been eating it my entire journey. I only have, one a week or so, but I count their burgers 14 points. It works for me. Too funny. Kelly says, what shirts are people talking about? So go to fatdag.com, click on the store. It's let me see. I have it just for fun. So Kelly's asking what shirt. So here it is, right? So it's this. Let me see it on YouTube with that, and then it has the whole schedule on the back. So yeah, very cool. And then I throw it in this cool bag. That's the bag, and we mail them out. So, and it's a very nice shirt for those of you who have it, right? I mean, I'm impressed. It's a nice quality shirt. It's not a crap junk T-shirt. So. So fatdag.com. So right now they are, I did reorder them. So if you order mediums and larges at the moment, you'll be in the queue when the next batch comes in. They should arrive soon. Anyway, that's the deal on that. Whew. Getting way behind. Randy, good evening. Patricia's here. Tammy, so those are my Christmas jammies. So so I ordered every size, Carrie. So you'll be okay. It's just going to take me a week or so to get them and then to process them out. So that's all. Yeah. So I was at work all day, so I changed out of my uniform, and then I was like, I'm just putting my jammies on. Push another one out when the show starts as well. So you do get plenty of alerts on Twitter. But I don't want to give you a 30-minute warning because then you'll forget. If I give you a 15-minute warning, then at least Yep, Lori, you definitely need to order it. Because at some point, I keep reordering in them, but at some point I'm be like, okay, I don't know, maybe I won't order anymore. I don't know. Let's see, scrolling through. I'm going to skip a couple comments, so I apologize. Lisa gave the link. Thank you, Lisa. We can always go to fatdag.com and click on the store link from fatdag.com. So cool. Judy says, need you in New Jersey. Lori said, busted through a plateau with 5.2 pounds. Woohoo! I like Bubs. All right, scrolling through. Hey, Lee actually got water before. Very nice. Penny says she's ready for Indy. Kristen is here. Good evening to you. So Kristen was on the last live show. Kristen, you came in right at the end. We had ended the show, and then all of your comments ended up after everyone had left. So hopefully this time you're here at the right time. So you're here live, so that's good. Very fun. Jennifer, can't wait to meet you as well. Let's see. Scrolling through. Lori says, is the shirt true to size? You're wearing a large now? That's a hard question for me to answer. I think it is. A couple people have ordered them and then emailed me to get a smaller size. So I'm going to say this, and I hope I don't regret saying this. But if you order one, I'm going to regret this, I know, but how fun is this? If you order one and you show up at the race and it's way too big because you've lost weight, I will give you another one. And there's a bunch of ands in there. You have to show up at a race. It has to be too big because you lost weight. And I have to look at it and go, man, that's too big. But yeah, order the size you're supposed to be wearing. There you go. Very fun. And like I said, I'm sure I'll regret that. But how cool is that? What a great problem to have if that's the case, right? So Corey, perfect example. So Corey said, love my shirt and plan for it to be baggy by October. So perfect. In October, we'll figure that out. All right. Now, Christine, everything is still, I ordered them exactly the same at this point. For sure. All right, I'm going to skip ahead because I want to get this thing rolling. Is that okay? I don't know how many comments. Oh, I'm at the bottom anyways. Very good. Very cool. All right, so let's do episode 194. Let's get ready to do a microphone check. Let's do some water check. I don't know. Is anybody new? Do we have any people watching for the very first time? Carrie, do you know? Because I think we do. Yeah, Pam says, order a second one. Use the first one for Fat Dag Jammies. Yep. So is anybody watching for the very, very, very first time? If they are, we're going to ring the bell that Carrie sent in. That's the plan there. Let's get the microphone fired up. Let's get this show on the road. Shall we? Randy's first. Woohoo! Joyce, there we go. First time. Kelly's new. Look at that. How fun. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Ah. Mic check, testing, test. Looks like it's good. Perfect. Sounds good. All right, coming right up. All right, for those of you who are new, you're probably wondering what all those water emojis are for. Let's explain, shall we? So water emoji, Kelly says, this is my second time. Cool. Well, yep, there's Tammy with the water emoji. Diane's got them. Here we go. Cheers. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Cheers. Yum. So I put my little sticker on the water bottle. This is what we sent Kirby. I haven't seen Kirby in a couple days. That's what I sent Kirby for being a patron for an entire year. So it's my favorite water bottle. Very cool. Yep. All right. Let's do this, shall we? Glug, glug, glug. Deep breath. I take a very deep breath because I think I record the whole show in one breath. I don't think I breathe during it. Here we go. Episode 194. Are you ready? Dina says, I hold my breath every time you drink. Me too. Here we go. I am your host, Fat Dag. You're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at fatdag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Wise Advice. Send in your comments, your questions, and your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello. Welcome to episode 194. And I want to just kind of give you a couple little updates that if you haven't already, get over to your app store. Whether it's the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, search for Wise Advice with Fat Dag. I tell you, I got an Android phone, a Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus the other day, and I'm not used to the Android platform. I went into the Google Play Store to look for the app to make sure it was there, and the app told me it's been downloaded over 5,000 times on the Android platform, which just completely blows my mind. Apple continues to lead the way there. But that's incredible amount of numbers. We hit 2 million downloads of the actual show. Man, we continue to just keep everyone focused, keep everybody in the game. That is absolutely the best part. I want to thank all of you. Episode 194, can you believe that? 2 million downloads, 5,000 downloads of the app in the Android store. The Apple store gets about 100 and 200 downloads a week. So just incredible. I really appreciate your support. Those of you who've taken the next step and you become a patron, thank you for that as well. That continues to help keep the show funded. It eliminates a lot of the commercials. Of course, we're not 100% commercial free, but that is kind of where I would love to head with it. And the patrons certainly do that. You can do all that by going to fatdag.com, clicking on Become a Patron. Like I said, really appreciate all your support. You know, I get a ton of email, as you might imagine, and I tell you, a lot of them break my heart. A lot of them really pull at my heartstrings. But every once in a while, emails come in, and I want to laugh, and I know that's not fair. I know that's not right. But this email I'm getting ready. I mean, it's hilarious, and so I'm laughing. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me, and I'm laughing at this email. So I apologize for being insensitive at the beginning, but you're going to laugh too, I think. You may not admit it, but I think you will. Hang on as we read an email from Pam out of Valparaiso, Indiana. She says, well, hi, Mike. First of all, I want to thank you for your service to our country, and also thanks for being the inspiration, founder, and head cheerleader of the Wise Wingmen Facebook group. I'm truly blessed to have you and the Wingmen in my life. I promised myself I would write to you and tell you my why on my anniversary date, with Weight Watchers, which is May 3rd. I've lost 66 pounds this past year, and I have 31 pounds to reach goal. My history is that I'm referring to, I'm a returning lifetime member who lost 100 pounds 10 years ago. Over the past years, I managed to lose focus, having gone through divorce and many other storms in life many other storms that life threw at me, including cancer, and I gained most of my weight back. I was on the road to self-destruction. At 64 years old, the committee in my head was telling me that I was too old to do this diet thing again. Luckily, I have a wonderful sister, Sherry, who convinced me that you are never too old to be healthy. She led me back to Weight Watchers and my salvation. My why, I want you to know that like you, I too wear a uniform. It's not quite like yours. Mine consists of a big red nose, polka dot bloomers, brightly colored dress, a yellow wig, and oversized shoes. Yes, I'm a real clown. I'm Snickers. The reason for my coming out of the closet is to tell you all that for 34 years, I have been entertaining the public, cheering up the sick, raising money for the needy, all spreading joy and laughter at celebrations. I spent my life giving to others. I'm even in the Clown Hall of Fame. I'm sharing this because I want to give testimony that because of my obesity, I was about to give up my 34 years of doing what I was meant to be doing and what I love. I wore a painted smile and I appeared to be happy on the outside, but at 246 pounds, I was crying on the inside. My body hurt, my feet hurt, and so did my heart. The strange thing I learned, I guess, was that I was accepted and loved in a silly costume being overweight. But I was treated differently when the bloomers and the wig came off, and I faced the public as an obese woman. It's kind of sad, don't you think? Well, fast forward now a year later and lighter, my pep is back in my step, my joy is back in my heart, and once again, the desire to spread laughter is in my being. Why? Because I now look in the mirror and I like me. I have love and self-respect, and I realize that to make others happy, I need to be happy in my own skin. I've gone from a size 22, 24 to a size 14, size 16. And yes, in case you're wondering, I have to safety pin my polka dot bloomers to keep them from falling down. In closing, thanks to you, my Weight Watchers leader in the group, and all of my fellow wingmen for helping me find my way back to my own little circus. Wishing you and everyone good focus and continued success as we continue our lifetime journey. I want you to know I plan to be in Indy in September. Oh, you'll recognize me. I'll be the one with the big red nose. Miles of smiles, Pam. And then Pam adds a PS and it says, I once had an elderly woman tell me, you can't lose weight. Skinny clowns aren't funny. I am proving her wrong. Pam, way to go. What an awesome email. I can't wait to be in your presence because I love clowns. I know there's a love-hate relationship with clowns, right? I am on the love side of clowns. I think clowns are the coolest thing in the world, and I really like the skinny clowns because they can move better. They can run around the room better. You can just see the energy in their step, and you are getting that back. Congratulations on your 66-pound weight loss. Congratulations on your 1-year anniversary tomorrow. Way to do this. And what I love is that, you're a returning lifetime member. You've lost 100 pounds before, so you clearly know that you can do this. Without a doubt, you can do this. You have proof. You have done it before. Your age doesn't matter. It's the same skills, the same technique. It's the same mindset that gets you there. It doesn't matter how old you are. At 64, the committee in your head needs to be evicted. You kick them out, and your sister Sherry was exactly right in bringing you back into the fold and say, you know what, we can do this. You've managed some amazing things in your life, and obviously all those storms that life has to throw at you, beating cancer. Congratulations on that. And then of course that had to take a toll on you. Obviously during that phase you gained some of your weight back. That's okay. You were at that point doing what you needed to do to survive, and here you are now thriving as a result. You're clearly on your way. Maybe I think we need to rename your clown name from Snickers to maybe Quest Bar or RX Bar or something along that line, because Snickers just isn't going to work anymore in the clown. But I love what you've done with your life. I love that you devoted your life to helping other people, making other people smile. You know firsthand that if you can put a smile on someone's face, if you can give someone just a little bit of hope, if you can distract them from all the crazy things they have going in their life, if you can take for just a moment and channel their energy to you and to your laughter and to the excitement you bring, it puts them in a much better place. That's what we're doing here. For just a moment, all I'm trying to do is distract you and then remind you that you can do this. So I think in a way we're exactly alike, is that we both want to make sure that other people can realize their dreams. What we have to realize, Pam, as we do this is that as we allow other people to fulfill their dreams, the only way they can fulfill those dreams is that if we continue to stay engaged with them. You staying engaged, you making them laugh, you keeping them smiling. You can do that now that you're down 66 pounds because you feel better, you feel more energized, and I know that energy transcends out of you into them. You have to keep doing that in order for them to thrive. And so your journey, your mission is so vital to their success. But more importantly, it's vital to your success as well. You're absolutely doing it with the amazing team of your leader, your group, the wingman in the Facebook group. All together, we are our own little circus. And how fun is that you are our lead clown getting it done. So Pam, it's very fun to have you on Facebook Live as we're going over this email. I say you go to the lady that told you that you couldn't lose weight because skinny clowns aren't funny. I tell her you can. I say you continue to prove her wrong. I think you go make her laugh so hard that she turns into just getting it. She goes to the point where she's like, yeah, skinny clowns. Not only are they funny, they're healthy and they'll be around for a heck of a lot longer. Now, last piece of advice I'll give you is, and I certainly don't mean to insult you in your profession, but I would drop the safety pin from your bloomers. I think a skinny clown with the pants around their ankles, I think that becomes hilarious. And so how fun would it be as you're running around the place if your pants fall down? I think you add that to your routine. You're going to kick it up a notch and get this done. Pam, congratulations. Happy 1-year anniversary. What an amazing year it's been. You're absolutely down 66 pounds. You've completely changed your life. You completely changed your outlook on life. And as a result, you're absolutely changing lives. Pam, thank you so much for writing in. Thank you for being a part of our community. Jean writes in and says, hey, dear Mike, I recently started listening to your podcast. I started with the most recent, and then I decided to start from the beginning. Currently, I'm on episode 38. I started Weight Watchers April 2018, so I'm coming up on a year. I wanted to lose about 40 pounds. After losing 25, my leader and the other ladies doing the weigh-ins at the scales began telling me that I looked good and I should stop there and make that my goal. So I did, and I am a lifetime member now. But I really wasn't happy with that, and I wanted to reach my personal goal, so I continued losing. I've now lost 30 pounds, and again, they're telling me I should stop losing, and that I possibly have body dysmorphia. If I lose the 7 more pounds that I would like to lose, I will still be within the healthy BMI range for my gender, age, and my height. Granted, I'm at the lower end of it still, but I'm still within it. I've heard you say several times that when you reach your goal, you will know it. But I'm starting to wonder, what if I don't know it? And I am still not satisfied with how I look, and I'm beginning to wonder if they are right. I'll be 55 in May. I'm 5'5" and 3/4, and a female. People tell me that I'm not in my 20s anymore, and I will never achieve that figure again. Are they right? Should I stop at a goal weight that I'm not satisfied with, or should I continue and believe that I will know when I've lost enough? I love your podcast. I am continually amazed at the insight you have and the excellent advice you give in such a thoughtful, caring, compassionate way. I absolutely believe in your premise of focusing on the why of your journey. And so the name of your podcast is fitting. However, when I listen, my mind is saying wise, W-I-S-E advice. I hope you are able to give me some insight into my situation as well. Thank you so much for all you do. You are truly helping many. Thank you for your service to our country. I'm the mother of 3 Army veterans, one of which is still active in the Army National Guards. And I say thank you for your service. I am saying it with true appreciation and understanding of what that means. Sincerely, Jean. Jean, congratulations on reaching a lifetime. Congratulations on being a lifetime member. That is not easy. That's you being focused. That's you getting disciplined. And at some point, we get so dialed in and so focused that maybe we don't truly see the bigger picture. Now, this is an interesting email from me because I do believe that when you hop on the scale, you'll know at some point when you've got to the point where you don't want to lose any more weight. But there's also a subsection or a section of the population that may not ever feel that because our media does a great job of telling us what the perfect body should look like, and outside of Photoshop, a lot of us aren't ever going to reach that. So at some point, you do have to then be comfortable with I look really good, I feel really good. No, I am not a supermodel in that regard. That's what clothes are for, Putting on a pair of jeans, putting on a t-shirt hides a lot of those body imperfections that if we were trying to solve them, we would certainly have a difficult time, especially as we creep up in age as well. In this particular case, what I would ask you to do is I would ask you to go check in with your doc. I think that's the most important piece. I think your leaders mean well, the receptionist means well. I think at this time it's for you to go check in with your doctor, find out what they think. Get a professional opinion here, because I tell you, I heard that a lot. I heard people tell me, Mike, you're losing too much. You're losing too much. And I continued losing for a little bit beyond that. I've since put a little back on because I feel more comfortable at that stage. I've added some muscle, which I would encourage you to do as well. I would encourage you to add some strength training to it. Throw out the scale number. Quit being focused so much on the actual number on the scale. Focus on your overall health. That's why I'd recommend checking in with a doc, because that doc is going to give you some amazing insight into the whole journey. You're doing amazing work. You're coming up on a year. You're a lifetime member. You're in the healthy range. That's what the goal really is. With 5 to 7 pounds, it's not going to make a big difference here or there. But I truly do want you to go check in with a medical professional, just to kind of get one more opinion of someone who's unbiased, right? So you have bias on your side. The Weight Watchers folks have bias on their side. Checking in with your medical professional, they'll have access to a lot more data than just a simple scale number, and they will certainly give you some advice. So that's my recommendation for you. And again, I'll throw in strength training. There's no replacement for building a little bit of muscle, and adding muscle changes the way your body looks. It keeps the scale satisfied as well, but your body changes. But at some point we have to realize that you're right, that the body of a 20-year-old isn't 100% possible for a lot of us. But with some strength training, you can certainly tone it up and look really, really good. So that's where we headed. So Jean, thank you for your email. Keep me posted. Right back in and let me know what's going on. Congratulations on hitting lifetime. That's a big, big accomplishment. You did that. You've completely changed your life. And so now I just really want you to preserve it. I want you to take care of you, and I want you to accept what's going on and really just be overall happy with the entire journey. So thanks for that. Next up, Nicole writes in with an email. She goes, hey, Mike, my boy, today is his goal day. He's down 87.2 pounds, celebrating the success of Landon. He was diagnosed with autism and written off at the age of 3 by the neurodevelopmental psychologist. He's heading for all the coexisting diseases that accompany with obesity. We tackled Landon's weight gain, which started with medication, and it changed, and then his insatiable appetite. Landon has overcome so much, and I'm celebrating him. Again, he was diagnosed with autism at age 3, written off by the neurodevelopmental psychologist. Wow, this child is in his 3rd year of community college with help and doing great. He knows what he wants, and he's pretty good at getting it. Remember, the old adage is true: no food is a sin. Landon eats 6 foods. The color is yellow. Mostly chicken tenders and fries, no vegetables at all, 1 banana or apple per day, 1 probiotic drink, no coffee, no tea, 1 diet soda per day, no cheese, no pizza, no peanut butter, drive-thrus every second day, 1 order of chicken tenders, fries, and a drink, plus a plain dry burger. This fulfills 2 meals. It's all about moderation, choice, and fear of diabetes and needles. He really, really enjoyed celebrating with chicken tenders, fries, and bread at Macaroni Grill. The best part? Being the Weight Watchers leader that got to celebrate with my boy hitting goal. It was priceless. Thanks, Nicole. Nicole, very, very cool. I've seen the post in the Wise Wingman Facebook group of Landon and you together. What an amazing accomplishment. What an amazing role model you've been for him as well. You're doing great in your own right. The 2 of your journeys is just absolutely amazing. And for Landon to be down 87.2 pounds is absolutely incredible. And you've absolutely proven, you're right, no food is off limits. Certainly moderation plays its role in here, and that is how he's been able to get it done. So very, very, very proud of you. Very proud of him. We've chatted a little bit before offline as well, and I know the struggles that you've gone through, and I know how incredibly proud of him you are, and I know how incredibly proud of himself that he is, and off to community college with a little bit of help. It's just such a cool story all around to be able to sit here and celebrate with Landon and you. So, Landon, congratulations, 87.2 pounds. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And now the best part is he has his whole life ahead of him. Not having to face obesity with all the other challenges he has going on is such an amazing gift that the 2 of you have given each other. Landon, again, congratulations. I'm very, very, very proud of you. Last up is I want to talk to you. This email comes in, and it's actually from Sabra. And she writes in, she says, out of Chantilly, Virginia, she says, hi, Fat Dag. Thank you so much for your podcast. Many in my Sunday morning Weight Watcher meeting call you our car boyfriend. And from all of us in the Northern Virginia, we thank you for being an integral part of our weight loss and healthy lifestyle journey. I want to share with you and all the fat daggers out there that what I've done and ask your thoughts and advice. I've lost 106.2 pounds over the last 4 years, embracing my inner turtle, as it were, and for the past month, the scale has not cooperated despite my valiant efforts. It's happened before, it'll happen again, but I'm 12 pounds from goal, and with each passing 0.1 pound, I feel myself getting more and more antsy. My husband is worried that I'm too attached to the scale, and I should weigh myself less frequently, though right now I only weigh once a week. That said, the number means quite a bit to me, and I see that I'm way, 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 way too attached to it. I'm more interested in body composition changes, and I've been working with a personal trainer for the past 15 months to build significant lean mass and lose body fat. And wow, it's working. But still, that scale and the goal within reach. So, in a rare moment of extreme frustration, I share with my meeting family my situation, and they rightly set me straight to help me see things differently as usual. I subsequently wrote the below letter to the scale, and I found this to be a truly cathartic experience that is helping me distance myself from the attachment to the number. Under the letter is a question for you. It goes like this. Dear Scale, where to begin other than the obvious? I hate you. I've known you for as long as I can remember, and I never really liked you. I remember our first experiences together, my whole family dieting when I was only 6 or 7, and we all had weigh-in every Saturday morning. If you're up, things are bad. If you're down, you're either getting a Coke or a candy bar to celebrate. My mom and dad did their best. They too have always struggled with weight, and I'm sure they didn't like you either. Same with my brother and my sister. In fact, I'd find it hard to name anyone I know that really likes you. So sad for you, but you suck. So here's how I really feel about you and what I want for my future. A future where you, Mr. Scale, are of minimal to no impact. I have always disliked you. We've had a long, intimate relationship, and it has at times been good when the numbers were going down, but I learned to put too much energy and impact on the numbers you showed back to me. It became ingrained in me that the smaller numbers are better and mean that you're doing good. Bigger numbers are very bad, and that's where you are if you see them reflected back at you. You're a bad person. You lack self-control. You're a mess. You're huge. You're horrible. You have no willpower. Well, you know what? That is a crock. You are nothing. A hunk of metal that measures the pull of gravity at one point in time. You don't matter. You don't define me, and I will no longer let you control how I feel about myself. You are feedback, and that's it. Like clothing fitting too tightly or too loosely, a body feeling energetic or sluggish, what matters is over time, the trend. Over time, any one measure you give us is nothing. It means nothing unless it's in the context of the progressive trend over the last month, if not the last year or so. There's just so much involved. The body is too complex, and you, Mr. Scale, are too stupid and too simple of a device to be able to deal with that complexity in any kind of acute way. I'm done. I'm tired of letting the numbers you show me dictate how I feel about myself or in general. I refuse to let you make me feel bad about myself, worthless, dumb, frustrated, defeated. I am unstoppable and cannot be defeated, certainly not by anything as lame as a scale. So we have to break up. We can still see each other once a week for the sake of simple reflection, but that's it. And when we do see each other, don't be surprised at my lack of enthusiasm to see you, nor my lack of real interest in any one thing you have to say, because again, you don't matter. And like the amazing, wonderful, healthy food I choose to put in my body now, I will choose to see you once a week. And it's my choice, and I'll do it because I want to. I want to get contextual feedback that gives me a general idea of whether I'm on the right track with the thousands of other life choices I'm making every day to take care of myself, my body, my mind, and my spirit. But I'm not really going to care any longer what you say. I am officially, as of today, taking away your power over me. And if you ever make me feel as bad as you did last week, I'm going to grab a huge hammer and whack at you until you are nothing but a tiny bits and pieces. Not the Weight Watcher scale, but I'll buy a new one just to do that, because you are all alike, you scales, and none of you matter, and none of you have the power to make me feel bad or good about myself. Only I can do that. So there. And that's the end. So she said, I read this to the scale at my meeting this past Sunday. It was very empowering. That said, I know, Mike, you weigh every single day. I know the most long-term weight maintainers weigh every day. I also know that most normal weight people don't weigh much at all and simply use their clothing as a determining factor for needing to adjusting things. Not sure I'll ever be able to be like that, but I imagine it's what my husband wants for me. Ideally, it's what I want for me also. Is this something I need to figure out on my own through trial and error and see what works best? Do I start now or when I hit goal? I don't want to be obsessed with the number. I don't want that number to influence my attitude, but I know it's a critical marker. Does weighing more frequently give each weight value looking back at you from the scale less importance or influence over how you feel? Thanks so much for your insights you can share to help me on this last bit of my 46-year-long weight loss journey. Yes, pretty much my entire life. I probably lost and gained over 1,000 pounds if you add it all up. And I've been a lifetimer once for 37 seconds until I quit because I didn't need it anymore. Big surprise. That did not work out. So this time is forever, and goal is just another of the many milestones on the lifelong journey to live a healthy, active lifestyle. I'd love your thoughts on distancing myself from the scale, or actually how to best distance myself from the value I put on the scale each time that I weigh myself. Thank you for all you do, Sabra. Sabra, what a very emotional email. I can relate to a lot of what you said, but I want to go here, right? I think if this works for you, you've got to continue in that journey. The cool thing about this process is we have to figure out what works for us, and we have to figure out how we're going to handle that. So how I tell you how I approach it will be drastically different than how you approach it. But if this works for you, then you have to continue in that lane. I have figured out that to me, the scale is just data. It took me a while to come to that conclusion. I can almost every single morning when I hop on the scale, I can predict which direction the scale is going to go, and it's all based on the activity I did the day before. It's like clockwork. If I'm very good with the tracker, I can predict the scale will be down in the morning. If I am not very good in the tracker, I can predict the scale will be up in the morning. I get on, I get the data, I see it, I understand it, it tweets to the entire world. I know that about me. That scale doesn't bother me in that regard. I don't give it any power whatsoever. I understand that it's just data, but it didn't happen to me overnight. I kind of approached it the same way as I do as my speedometer. I didn't once when I got pulled over, I didn't yell at the speedometer. I didn't blame the calendar for me showing up to an appointment late. I didn't look at the clock and yell at the clock because I burnt dinner by leaving it in the oven too long. Whatever those data points are, they are an indication of everything else that's going on in your life. And so when I finally got to the point where I said, you know what, I am not giving the scale power, that is when I completely changed my mindset. Now, if you've done that as well, and your letter to the scale does that for you, and that takes the power away, you can still understand that the scale is data. But so many times, and this happened with the previous email from the show, is that, I firmly believe that goal is a look and a feel, and it's how you feel about yourself. And if you're there, it doesn't matter if it's the 1 to 2 to 7 pound difference on the scale. To me, I'm not trying to satisfy a program. I'm trying to satisfy me, and trying to wake up every single day on fire, happy, energized, feeling good about myself. I'm not going to let that energy dissipate just because a scale says that last night you had a cheeseburger at 9 o'clock at night, and it's still sticking with you. So that's where I had to finally take this. I'm glad to see you're working with a personal trainer. Now, that is absolutely great work. I always recommend that as well. But let's go all the way back to the beginning and talk about the most obvious thing. You're down 106.2 pounds. Yes, it's working. Whatever you're doing is working. At this point, if nothing else changes with you and your scale, you're down 106.2 pounds. Nothing can take that away from you except for you. As you celebrate all that you have done, you just have to keep that at the complete top of your mindset. And when you get closer and closer to goal, my guess for you is that, for so long you carry this extra 106.2 pounds that your goal weight is a number that you just kind of arbitrarily picked out. It doesn't mean anything. It's not a number you've been at recently. So how do we arrive at this just picking a number out of the air? So what I want you to do, I want you to back up. I want you to celebrate the amazing work that you've done. I want you to celebrate the amazing life that you built. I want you to celebrate how awesome you feel down 106.2 pounds. That's what I want you to focus on. The rest of this doesn't truly matter. And if you need to break up with a scale, I get it. If you need to smash one, I get it. But what I'm telling you is that scale rewarded you with 106.2 pound weight loss. It showed that reward as you rewarded yourself, I should say. So let's be a little kinder. I try very hard in my life. I don't do a great job at it. I try very hard in my life not to hate anything. I think it's very important mentally for me to embrace love and trying to celebrate everything that I do, and that's kind of how I live my day. It's kind of how I live my life, and that's how why we build this community where we just continue to lift each other up. But Saber, congratulations on your amazing work. I'm glad to see you come to terms with it. It's clearly working for you, so don't let my advice sway you. Continue to do everything that you're doing, and let's celebrate the fact that you're down 106.2 pounds. What is it that you're celebrating? Let's share it on the air. Go to fatdag.com, click on the Wise Advice Podcast link to send in your celebrations, your comments, your questions. I'll certainly work them in as part of the show. I want you to email in your celebrations because I really want you to be proud of what you're doing. When you have that internal pride, nothing can knock you off your game. When you wake up every single day on fire, motivated, ready to get this done, you are the most powerful thing out there. The world needs to know about it. The world needs to hear how awesome you are, and other people want to emulate that as well. Well, that's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus. Whoop, whoop. All right. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, looks like I'm missing quite a bit of conversation, but I can't keep up in the conversation normally. But 180, 194 in the books. Tammy, thank you for that. Very fun. Yeah, Pam, Pam is a clown. Quit clowning around and get this done. That's what I should have said. Knock it off, you silly clown. Very fun. I can't wait. I'm excited. It's funny when I read your email, Pam, and I found out you were a clown, and I was like, my first inclination was to look and see where you lived, and then when I found out that you weren't far from here, I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna have to do some clowning around for sure. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it fun. So, Michelle, thank you for that. Michelle says great motivational emails over on YouTube. Thank you for that. But I tell you that a couple things, and I meant to work this into this part of the show, but I slipped my mind. We've got to be careful while we're doing this, right? There comes a point where you get so infatuated and so excited about losing weight that you don't truly know when to stop. And there is a dangerous part to this, and I think many of us, for so long we've lived so overweight that we don't understand what the other extreme is, and so that's why I certainly encourage you check in with your doc. I mean that's probably the most important aspect of this. Get some professional medical advice. And as Patricia says, love the scale email. Yeah, I mean it's not how I love my scale. I really do. I can't wait. I wake up every morning. I'm actually looking forward to go getting on it in the morning because I had a great day today. So again, I equate it to I don't get mad at the speedometer. I don't get mad at the calendar. So why get mad at the scale? And so, yeah, who knows? Pam says, I should bring your red nose to Indy, but your Weight Watcher leader is scared of clowns, right? Yeah, I know. It's people, certainly as a clown, people love clowns or they're very scared of clowns. I'm on the good side. Bring it. We'll be funny together. Jean's asked me, Mike, can you explain why you were saying can be too low? Well, I mean, it's for everybody. I don't know. So listen, I can't take your email and assess whether or not you're in a healthy range or not. It's from one simple email. So, there is a point where people lose too much weight because you're not adding strength training in. So now you're losing muscle mass instead of losing fat. And then so what happens is you keep trying to break that scale down. So you quit eating and you can get to a very unhealthy place if you push way too far into your weight loss journey. And so it depends on what you're trying to chase. If you're chasing this perfect ideal body image, it may not exist at 55 years old. Without some significant strength training back in to balance it to get that physique that you're after. So yeah, Eric attests to it. So Eric says his doctor was worried about him as well. So um, the whole point is that at some point is if you get to the point where you feel like you're at your goal weight and you're not satisfied with it, it probably doesn't hurt to check in with a physician and say, hey, my numbers are down, everything's good, and your doctor will say, hey, listen, stop. But um, we know this whole concept, right? The media, the body image that we see in magazines and everything, gets this warped sense of what beauty looks like. And in chasing that, it's about 1% of the population, completely making that up, but it's about 1% of the population that looks like that. We can't expect ourselves to be overweight our entire life and then boom, turn into a supermodel just because we spent 6 months at Weight Watchers. That's just not how this journey works. So for most of us, I should say. So really, you just got to get to the point where, yeah, Jennifer says pictures. You look at pictures, and even so, I got down to 172 was my lowest, and so now when I look at pictures of me at 172, I'm much happier in a 185 to 195 range. That's where I feel the most comfortable. I'm able to balance my life the best. 172, when I look at pictures at me at 172, now I don't like them. I like them, sure, but it's different. I can see I had no muscle mass. So I got to the point in the middle of my journey where I was so excited about losing weight that I ended up losing muscle mass as well. And so now as I add the muscle mass back up, some of my weight gain is muscle mass. Some of my weight gain is balancing life and some sloppy tracking. But 185 to 195, I am completely content with that. I know it's not in the 2 pound range. I'm okay. I'm not trying to satisfy a program. I'm satisfying me at 195 pounds. Even I was at 201 this morning. Even at that, my medium shirt still fits. My pants still fit. That is the measure of success that I use. So I don't know. It's a very difficult conversation to have between email and Facebook Live, which is why when you get to the point where you're in your zone, you check in with your doc and figure out your game plan based on some solid medical advice, not some random guy on the internet who the only experience I have is my own weight loss journey. So take that for my advice is that it's just I somewhat laughed at the fact that being a Weight Watcher leader really, the only real thing that qualified me for being a leader is the fact that I lost weight. I don't have any counseling. I don't have or experience. I'm not a mental health counselor. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physician. So all of these things that play into this, the only thing I know how to do is open your app, scan food, and track it in. If you need help with that side of it, I can do that for you. But if there's some mental thing kicking in, if there's some medical thing kicking in, I don't have any experience to handle that. So it's why it's important to check in there as well. So anyway, that's my soapbox. Yeah. Kristen, the scales, there's a couple of them. The one of them's $59, one's $200. They're in that range, but Nokia has been a fantastic company for me. They supported me. They sent product out to our track, the Biloxi race. They've given scales to Operation Fat Dag. So they're an amazing company because I believe they are truly committed to us versus they're really ingrained in wanting to help people, which I think is very, very, very cool. So, Kristen, I like it. I haven't compared it to tell you if it's better. I can tell you I've had the Nokia scale back when it was Withings, same scale. I've had it for 10 years or so, and I like it. I liked it when it came out. So, is it better? I don't know. I haven't put them side by side to say they're better. The company, I believe, is focused on us and our health. So to me, that makes it better. So, that's my plug there. So, anyway, that's a wrap. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Let me get this thing pushed out. I want to get this show out. We're at 66 minutes. So Instagram, we would have lost you. We don't have Instagram. We would have lost Instagram 6 minutes ago. So this is kind of cool. I will plug in my iPad tonight, so it'll be charged for the next show. Weight Watcher meeting tomorrow night. We'll plan a show for Friday. Keep an eye on Twitter. Twitter @WiseAdvice will let you know there. So, Tammy likes YouTube. Are you a convert, Tammy, to YouTube? Will you? I don't know. Let's see. Maybe. Tammy switched to YouTube. Very cool. Dina says, ordered your international tour shirt and you sign up for the Indy 5K. So, Dina, yours has shipped. If you don't have it already, you should have it soon. It has shipped out. So, I have 3 that haven't, but the rest have. So, we're good there. So, anyway, with all that being said, thank you for being here. Thanks for the amazing support you always continue to provide. Really. Susie's here. Woohoo! Susie says, I love how you work all the platforms at once. Why not, right? If I had my other phone going, I would, but it died on me. So for those of you who don't know, Susie is just absolutely awesome. Awesome. No words. Right. Thank you as well. So anyway, cool. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Again, have a great night. We will see you. Keep an eye on Twitter. That's the best I can tell you. Twitter @WiseAdvice lets you know instantly when I decide what's going to happen. You can certainly get those notifications, but keep up the amazing work. You got this. You got Tammy. Thank you. Let's go ahead and so Susie says, thanks for the expert advice. So you guys saw the article I put out, Nokia Health. So Susie either drafted, wishing you good focus. You know that.